finally ready to make some modifications to the car. It's been 4 years of stock, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been great. I love the car stock. That's one reason it took 4 years. I love the way it handles, I love the way it rides. The acceleration still does enough for me, but naturally, we always want a little more, and so it's finally time. And the other thing that I want to announce in this video is I've got a race coming up. So I know I've been talking about that 67 Mustang of my brother's. So he's kind of the Mustang guy. He's got more than just that Mach 1. He's kind of a collector. But yeah, he built that 67 with a purpose. He did not put a Coyote in it. Instead, he put a Roush, 342 Roush, and the whole goal was to outrun a stock 5.0. Guess who has a stock 5.0 that's willing to run him? You're looking at him. So I'm gonna give him a run. The deal was, we are gonna keep my car stock. However, he's putting a tire on his, and so I am gonna do some modifications to mine, but I'm not gonna add any horsepower to start out with. Now, the ultimate plan, I think it is very important to always have a goal. My personal goal, right now, my car runs a 12.6 on a Hero DA day here in Mexico, where I run my car. I would like to get it into the 11s with bolt-ons and no boost. I don't know if that's going to be possible or not, but hey, you know, set a good goal, and if you fall a little short, you tried. Let's go over the exact list and how I'm going to modify this car. First, a tire. I need tire and wheel. These wheels are the heaviest wheels that come on any production Mustang, at least S550. The wheels that come on this car are super heavy, about 34 pounds in the rear. I am gonna replace just the rears for now. Goodbye. Gonna have it where I can zap them back on though, but if I'm wanting to race or go for a draggy time, we're gonna stick on the Billet Specialties, the wind lights. That is what is on the Silver Bullet. If you're not familiar with the Silver Bullet, that's Steeda's record-setting NA car, and it has those exact wheels on it. And in a video I watched, they claim they weigh 17 pounds. So I'm gonna cut my rear wheel weight in half just by going to that wheel. And then we're gonna put a drag radial on it. Which drag radial? Well, the Mickey Thompson ETRs. Gotta get that 60-foot time down. Bring that 60-foot time down to a 2.0 instead of a 2.21. We're looking at shaving off 3 to 4 tenths on our quarter mile. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure we don't fly into the 67 Mustang or fly off the road into anything for that matter. We gotta do some suspension work on the rear. I'd been researching the Steeda Stop the Hop for about, about a year after I bought the car. I realized I really needed that. And so I've been researching that for a pretty good while. However, talked to some guys that have installed this stuff and know a lot more about it all than me, and they actually prefer the BMR. They had nothing but good things to say about the Steeda, but they gave some reasoning, and I'll get into that in a future video. If you've got any experience with BMR's kit, let me know. I don't want it to squeak in the back. That is a big thing to me, and that is something that I've heard people complain about when they go all out. Doesn't happen to everybody, but I don't want a bunch of noise in the back. I'm just wanting to keep the car on the road. I don't want Mustang things happening, okay? I've already had a almost Mustang story and don't really care for any more of that. And then last, I gotta get back my 10 horsepower. Mine's a 2022. I'm short 10 horsepower. Ford had to meet some emissions. They had to put a carbon filter trap inside this air box. The videos I've watched, you gain back 10 horsepower. Just getting back what was taken from me since I'm a 22. My car's rated at 450. The previous models before me are rated at 460. I'm gonna need every last bit when I race that 67. Just to reiterate real quick and to kind of go over the price of what this is gonna cost me. Granted, I'm going with everything new. You could definitely cheapen this up. You don't have to go with the exact brands I'm going with. And on the suspension, you could do some of the work yourself, but the tire and wheels, the wheels are going to be $1,500. The tires, $900, just on the rear. The Stop the Hop, it's going to be under $1,000. I don't know for sure how much, because like I said, I haven't exactly decided which level I'm going with on the BMR, and then I'm going to pay labor. I'm going to get a guy here in town to install it that said he would just charge me by the hour, but I'm anticipating still under $1,000 for the suspension. And then removing the filter, great thing there. I'm picking up my 10 horsepower, and that's free. So I'm going to do that myself, obviously, and add it all up. That's $3,400. And what is that $3,400 going to get me? Because that is a chunk of change, no doubt. But what I'm hoping it gets me is, on the performance side of things, 0.3 faster with the wheels and tires, and then the suspension and the extra 10 horsepower. I'm hoping maybe can squeeze another 10th out. So catch another great draggy day. Probably won't be anytime soon to actually test this, but maybe in the fall, or if we do catch one random day, I'll sure do my best to go make a run. I'm hoping now my best day could be around a 12.25, so under a 12.3. Hey, I didn't really add any real horsepower. The only horsepower added was removing the carbon filter trap. But still, ultimately, this is just the start. So this is laying the groundwork and what's going to help me get to my ultimate NA goal. The ultimate NA goal, it's to run like a C8. I don't know about outrun a C8, but at least run on the same time through the quarter that they run around here. So at our elevation and everything and on the street, I have a friend with one, and it is awesome. It gets out of the hole really good, way better than my car. That's where they do a lot of their damage. Hopefully we can catch a good DA day and he can kind of get a time for me, but I'm thinking they still run high 11s. He may turn a mid 11. I just don't know. But if he turns a high 11, I think that the next step that we take, the car can get there. So let's go over the next step to actually make the car run like a C8. On to phase 2. 85 in a tune. Big advantage to the S550. You don't have to upgrade your fuel pump or the injectors or anything like that. At least on the Gen 3s. I don't know about the other generations, but the Gen 3s, you're ready to go. You just got to have a tune to run the E85. Then headers and high flow cats. That's going to be the biggest thing that helps flow the exhaust and get everything out of there. They are expensive. So we're saving this for the back end. And intake throttle body, question mark. I don't know. I don't know that I fully do require it. Maybe your input, if you've got any input on this. But it may not be necessary. So this may get scratched. May still run all this with a stock intake. However, the price on all this, so the 85 in tune, I'm thinking around $850. I will dig way harder into this when the time comes and pin all this down. The headers and the high flow cats, about $2,500. It depends on what brand you go with, anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. And then installation, I'm not going to do that myself. So about $3,500, and then intake, maybe no intake. I'm going to go ahead and include it in case it does come to that. The point being, that's going to be $5,050 is what I'm showing here. So around 5,000 bucks. We include our $3,400 from phase 1. We're at $8,450. So still well under $10,000 to turn the car into what I think would run with the Corvettes. At least, you know, granted, when I talk C8, guys, I'm talking the base model. I'm not talking a Z06 or anything crazy. My time, so my theoretical time in the last phase, we had around 12.25. Well, let's just say 12.3. Let's say we didn't quite get there. And then I'm hoping all this could add or shave off another, not add, but shave off another half second. If we shave off another half second, that'd be an 11.8. So I think the goal ultimately is to run an 11.8. My buddy, he'll run his C8 on a Hero DA day, hopefully, and I can tell you if that's going to get it done or not. That may not outrun one. I'm okay with that. I'm not necessarily trying to outrun anybody. Maybe my brother's 67. I'm going to give it a good go, give it all I can. But if I could run high 11s where we live, I think that will run with a C8. And out here, that's really good. I know you can go online, you can find C8s running a 10.9 stock at the drag strip, but you can also find a car like mine stock running an 11.9 at the drag strip. That's not the case out here. That's not the case on the street. I think you should always compare your car to the area that you're in. So if you are wanting to play the compare game, it's really cool to get a draggy. If you don't have one, you really need one. It's a lot of fun. You can do each mod and see how much faster your car got. Keep it safe. Go to Mexico to get your times. But you could get a time and actually have something to kind of compare. And that's what I'm going to do with all this. So NA, no boost, an 11.8. Could you spend this money and go ahead and just go boost and everything? Yeah, I guess you could, but you're going to still need the supporting mods, those tires, and some of the things we mentioned in the first video, the stop the hop. You're going to need that no matter what, no matter which route you go. So I think it's going to be fun to go this route. Keep it no boost for now. Let's see where we end up. It's going to be an NA build with a goal, the goal being high 11s. And I'll let you know if that does mean it would run with the C8s around where I live, or if not. And if not, that's okay. This is still the goal. So to be continued. Let me know if you have any ideas, or if you like this or have any suggestions. Please let me know down in the comments. See you next time.